Woo! Let's get to it. Volume of triangular prisms is our lesson today, and I'm going to start off by just showing you some examples. You should have those notes done from the first 2 pages already. You should not, what I'm writing down shouldn't be the first thing on your notebook. And if this is, then you're going to have a really hard time like getting through the rest of this lesson. We're still following the idea that volume equals length times width times height, or volume equals the area of our base times the height of our solid figure. So without further ado, let's look at our first example problem. All right, I have a triangular prism. I can tell because it has 2 triangle bases and 3 rectangle faces. So I have the triangular prism. The base triangle has a base of 10 and a height of 10. And the depth or the length of the rectangular base is 25 centimeters. So what we have to do is find the area of the triangle first, and then multiply that times the length of our rectangular face. So without further ado, let's do it. Okay. Not going to draw the sketch here. If you guys need to do that, then like that'd be fantastic. This is going to be a pretty straightforward example. The steps are always going to be the same. Got that marker's no good right now. Gotta go to the store and buy some more. Okay. Step 1. Find the area of triangular base. To do that, we need to remember the formula that area of a triangle equals 1/2 times base times height. And by base, we mean like the bottom line of the triangle, not the total thing. So we need to find the area of the triangular base. That means that we need to know a couple of things first. We need to know the dimensions. We need to know dimensions of our triangular prism. It has a base of 10 and a height of 10 and a length of 25. Now here's the major difference, because we cannot just plug this in like we would for a rectangular prism, because we're going to get way too much volume. Considering that it's a triangle, it's always going to be half of whatever a rectangular prism would be. So with that in mind, we have to start off with 1/2 is base times height. So the area of our triangle is equal to, I'm going to do 0.5 times 10 times 10. And what this ends up being is 100. And we're trying to say 0.5 times 100. The area of our triangle is equal to none other than 50. 50 square centimeters, because we only multiply length times width. Now we can take this 50 centimeters and put it back into our volume formula to be able to figure out the rest. I'm going to hold this up so you guys can see it a little bit better. And so then step 2, find volume. And we do that using our formula equals volume equals base times height. Our height, or our length, if you will, is 25. So when we plug this in, it's going to be 50 times 25. Hey Siri, what's 50 times 25?
50 times 25 is 1,250.
1,250 centimeters cubed, because we multiplied 3 dimensions by each other. So you have 1,250 centimeters cubed. I'm going to go back and put that inside of the Google Doc, as you should. Let's see. So the answer that you will put there is volume equals 1,250 centimeters cubed, or just 1,250 centimeters cubed. Make sure that you pay attention to the units there. All right. Example 2 says to find the volume of the triangular prism below. I'm noticing a couple of things. The base for the triangular prism base is 9 centimeters. Somebody's going to make the mistake and look at this 4.5 and multiply that. The reason why we don't want to do that is because that's not the height. That is a distractor. Back here, it tells us the height of the triangle. The height of the triangle is 4 centimeters. So my base is 9, my height is 4, my length is 8.1. And this is what I'm going to use to figure out the rest to figure out the height. So first I would have to find the area of this triangular base. 1/2 of base times height. And then I'm going to multiply that answer times 8.1 so that it tells us, so I'm going to multiply that times depth. All right. So first things first, I need to clear my board. All right. So here we go. Step 1, find the area of the triangular base. To find the area, I have 0.5 times base times height. I know what my base is. I know what my height is. Now it's just time for me to plug it in and get the answer. So I have 0.5 times 9 times 8.1. Now I can use a lot of good math to be able to get like to find the area. 0.5 times 9 is like saying 1/2 of 9, which we know by now is 4.5 or 4.5. So now I'm saying 4.5 times 8.1. The area is the answer to 4.5 times 8.1. Hey Siri, what is 4.5 times 8.1?
The answer is 36.45.
36.45 centimeters squared. That's the area of the triangular base. I now need to do step 2, which is volume. Me seeing that lets me know that I need to write down my volume equation. My volume formula, volume equals base times height. I already have my base, so I'm going to plug that in. Base, which is 36.45, times height, which is 8.1. Oh, geez. I messed this up completely. I should have known that I was making a mistake. Gotta take this pretty much all the way back. My height is not 8.1. My height is 4.0. Which should have been like my first clue that I was doing something wrong. The height for my triangle, which is probably why I should have like just drawn the sketch. I have 0.5 times 9 times 4.0, which is going to give me a totally different answer. I could do 9 times 4, which is 36. And I'm doing 0.5 times 36, which is like saying half of 36, which we know is 18. So now I'm looking at 18 centimeters squared. And I'm going to take this and plug it back in with my base. Volume equals base times height. And volume equals 18 times 8.1. Hey Siri, what's 18 times 8.1?
18 times 8.1 is 145.8.
145.8 centimeters cubed. And that is the answer. Let me show you. This is the work. If you need to pause and write this down, that's what you're gonna do. The mistake that I made that I ended up fixing is that it should have been 0.5 times 9 for the base times 4 for the height, not 40. That's just 4.0. And then when I found that answer, I should have multiplied that answer times 8.1, which is what I ultimately did. Last one coming up, and get a new fresh piece of paper or a new fresh area on your paper so you can take some really cool notes for the last one. Well, look at what we have here. We have a problem that throws us a little bit of a curve. An aquarium is building a new shark tank for its largest shark. The dimensions of the tank are shown below. It has a base of 120 feet. The triangle base has a height of 80 feet. And we have an undescribed depth of the tank. What we do know is that the tank holds 480,000 cubic feet, which means that that is the volume. The volume of the tank is 480,000 cubic feet. So we need to figure out how tall is the aquarium based on what we have. So take your time to draw a sketch if you need to. I'm actually gonna like not make that rookie mistake, and I'm actually gonna like sketch this out for a second, just so that it's something that I don't have to flip back and forth between it. And understand this, like, your sketches do not have to be beautiful. Mine oftentimes are not. Okay, so again, 120, this is a height of 80, and then we have this unknown thing. But what we do know What we do know is that volume is 480,000. That's a crap ton of water. And so basically, okay. So this is like where we're gonna flex our algebra muscles. We're still gonna start off with this step 1, which is finding the area of the triangular base. We can still do that. Area of our triangle base is 1/2 times base of 120 times height of 80. What makes the most sense is to just do half of 120 so that we have a smaller number to multiply with. Half of 120 is 60. And now I'm multiplying that times 80. My area is going to be 60 times 80. 6 times 8 is 48. So 60 times 80 is going to be 4,800. Now here's where the algebra comes in hand. Here it is that we would normally now use this to find our volume, but we're given the volume. So step 2 here is to find the height, which we can still use the volume equation to do. What we're going to do is we're going to start out by just writing the equation. Volume equals base times height. And then we're going to start plugging stuff in. I'm actually going to start over. I'm going to write over here, area equals 4,800 square feet. I just need a little bit more space to be able to do this. So now we're at step 2. Find our height. And to do that, we're going to first start off with using the equation. Before we actually plug anything in, we know that volume equals base times height. And we're going to use this formula to plug in what we do have before we start doing like 2-step equations to like figure out our missing variable. What we do know is that the volume is 4,800. Well, 480,000. We do know that the area of the base is 4,800. And we don't know what the height is. Now this looks like a super easy thing for us to be able to figure out. What I am noticing is that I have 4,800 times h, which is the same as saying 4,800 h. And when I see that, I automatically know that that's a coefficient that I can get rid of by dividing by that coefficient on both sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by 4,800 on both sides. And what this ends up being is like a match of the 0 pairs. I'm going to cancel those out. And then 48 goes into 4,800. 100 times. Hey Siri, what is 480,000 divided by 4,800?
480,000 divided by 4,800 is 100.
That means that our tank is 100 feet tall. It has a height of 100 feet, which is technically the answer to the question. But now I'm going to show you how you can put this back in and just double check to make sure that it makes sense. So now we know that our height is 100 feet. And if we really wanted to check this, we could go back to our original volume equation and then like figure this out. We know that the area of the base is 4,800. And if we multiply that times 100, we should get 480,000. I don't even have to go far. I know that I'm multiplying 2 base 10 numbers. And I could just literally add them to like add all of the zeros together. And I have 4,800. Okay, hope this has been fun. Hope this has been enjoyable. If you need to watch this 70 million times before you like be able to get a move on, then like please do so. But make sure you try your hardest, show your work. You've got this. I believe in you. Call me, text me, or just, hey, you know, get on the Google Hangout Classrooms thing so we can actually like work during the time that I'm actually working and I could be the most assistance to you. All right. Right now, SIU is proving that they are probably the better homeroom because they're getting the most of their work done every day. Columbia, we got to catch up. Illinois, you got to get on top of it. We cannot let SIU just like go out and be like the best homeroom that does the most work when they're at home on school closure. All right. Get it done. Talk to me later. Peace.